talk. Hi, Francis. Hello, Francis. I think you raised your hand for us to mute. Okay. Oh, I've seen on the chat.
Hi, Eunice.
Hi, Francis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for joining. Kegan, how are you?
Kegan is muted.
Francis. You're a good guy. Good. How are you? How are you, bro?
I'm fine, thank you. How is it, Robbie?
Fine, fantastic. Karibu sana.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Francis. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Homa Bay.
Homa Bay. Oh.
Thank you. Yeah.
I see. How is Homa Bay?
Homa Bay is good. A bit hot, though it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
But we are. Yeah, but we are grateful. Good. Yes.
Thank you. Let me remove your permission.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Francis. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Homa Bay.
Homa Bay. Oh. Oh, I think Francis, you've gone live on YouTube. Yes, but I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. I'm seeing on the panel, on the chat box, Isaac Warambo is saying he's a wedding planner. Welcome very much, Isaac Warambo, and everyone else who is joining us. We are live on YouTube and here on Zoom. And with 2 minutes past 7, I think we're ready to begin. So today I'd like to start off with a game. I'm going to start off with a game. And this game is called Two Truths and One Lie. I'm going to share 3 statements about me, and 2 of those statements are true, while 1 is a lie. So the game is called Two Truths, One Lie. The 3 statements I'm going to share are all very, we just want to make things a bit interesting. And the person who is going to get it right will get 1 hour wedding planning consultation with me and a Samantha's Bridal Taken t-shirt. So if you interested in these giveaways, the 1 hour consultation with me and Samantha's Bridal Taken t-shirt, or if you know someone who will benefit from this, please participate in this game. Okay. So the very first statement, I'm going to put it out there. So remember, the game is 2 truths, 1 lie. The first statement is, I was once interviewed on the news. Do you think it's a lie? Do you think it's a truth? The second statement is, I fall walking up the stairs most of the time. Do you think that's a lie? Do you think that's a truth? And the third one is, I used to play hockey in high school. Me. I used to play hockey in high school. So the 3 statements, it would be very interesting to know what you assume of me. I was interviewed on the news once. I fall walking up the stairs most of the time. And I used to play hockey in high school. Please feel free to put in your answer in the chat box here on Zoom and even on YouTube. We are very excited to have all of you here. And Kegan, you're looking very dapper. Are you ready for this conversation? I'm very excited because it's one that we have been planning for weeks and we have been looking forward. We are talking about click moments. The dictionary defines click moments as an opportunity that is not, that can be missed by, it's like, I'll get the right definition, but we are talking about click moments, and I'm very excited about this conversation today. Today we are showcasing some photography by Kegan's finest work. We have lined up several images from several weddings, and Kegan is going to take us through the inspiration, the creativity, and the opportunity behind those images. We want to pick his brain and find out what he was thinking when he was taking those pictures and why he even took them in the first place. The topic is click moments. And the dictionary defines this as a rare point of opportunity. I have remembered what the dictionary defines click moments, a rare point of opportunity. So in this showcase, we want to see how Kegan took advantage of these rare points of opportunity and how his skill and talent translated this into a masterpiece. Right, so my name is Eunice Moy. I am the founder of Ulita Surprise. At Ulita Surprise, we plan alternative and conventional weddings. We also assist men in planning breathtaking dates and marriage proposals. At Ulita Surprise, we actually love to celebrate and honor love by planning anniversaries too. We do all this by creating experiences through surprises. I'm also a very, very proud alumni of WMBA. WMBA is the #1 wedding and event school in Kenya, the very first one, the very #1 in Kenya. And it is by Samantha's Bridal. So if you're someone who is looking to join the wedding industry, I'd strongly advise you to seek out this school, WMBA by Samantha's Bridal. And now I'd like to introduce Kegan Ochieng, the man of the hour. And I'll start by introducing his company, Photography by Kegan, to which he represents today. Photography by Kegan is a young and vibrant, award-winning group of creatives born and bred in Kenya. They are urban, they are creative, and they are undefined by boundaries. They are recognized face of fashion. They are a recognized face of fashion, commercial, and wedding photography in Kenya and beyond. Over the years of photographing weddings, fashion, and commercial work, they have seen so many wonderful moments. They have learned a lot about the art, and they have grown to understand more about themselves as well. They have also snagged some wonderful accolades, which include Nikon International, the I Am Kenya Challenge, and African Geographic of 2015. Photography by Kegan is finis. They are custom and they are bespoke. Kegan Ochieng, who is with us here in the panel, is the lead creative at Photography by Kegan. It is my honor. Kegan, I just want to say it is our honor to have you here on the show today. And I'd like to invite you to just say a few words of hello. We hear your voice even as before we continue, Kegan.
Hi, Eunice. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. And thank you to Samantha's Bridal, Dr. Catherine, for this platform and this opportunity. Eunice, you're looking good today. Thank you for having me and us. So everyone, my name is Kegan Ochieng. I'm the lead photographer at Photography by Kegan. And yes, I'm so excited to be here. Like, let's just talk about photography and weddings and moments and memories. God, that's my world, like photography, moments, people, and that's what we're here to share. Let's learn. If you can pick a thing or two from here and as a takeaway, that would be great. Let's learn, let's exchange, and let's have a good time.
Karibu sana, Kegan. I just want to welcome those who are joining us right now. And I just want to bring up the game that we were playing because there's some people who might have joined us and they missed out on the game. So we are playing 2 truths and 1 lie. I shared 3 statements about myself and I invited the audience, those who are joining us here on Zoom and on YouTube, to sort of just guess really which one is the truth and which one is the lie. The first statement was, I was once interviewed in the news. The second one was, I fall walking up the stairs most of the time. And the third one is, I used to play hockey in high school. I'm seeing Francis has put out his answer there. So I'd invite you, anyone, even you, Kegan, just make assumptions about me and you stand a chance to get a 1-hour planning consultation, wedding planning consultation with myself. and a Samantha's Bridal branded T-shirt, Kegan T-shirt for the ladies. So please just interact with us on the chat box as we start this.
Can I go first? Like, do I need to answer all three to qualify, or I just need to answer one question?
It is 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay, so so I think you've been interviewed before at TV. I don't think you fall off the stairs a lot of times, and I think you played hockey in high school. You're drinking water. Sips water. Sips water.
Sips water. We'll find out later in the conversation. So I just quickly like to start by saying a few words, So to start us off, we are going to hear stories behind beautiful photos that Kegan has lined up for us today. And we shall follow the procedure of a wedding. We want to follow his work from the beginning of the wedding day and finish off with the last shot at the end of the day. Kegan, are you ready? We're going to begin, yes, from the beginning of the wedding day up until the end of the wedding day. And even as we prepare to showcase the very first photo that you have in store for us, I'd like to ask a question, Kegan. You see, usually wedding photography is planned. So if you can quickly take us through the day of the wedding photographer so that we can have an idea of the progression of the showcase. Where do you begin shooting and how does the day look like? Just very quickly.
Okay. So very quickly, how it happens, like what happens in our industry, there's like a standard playground. I'll speak for myself. We normally, most of the weddings that we've done, it's photography and videography. So then you'll have 2 teams going to the groom and the bride. So we start with preparations. So there'll be a team at the grooms in the morning, and there'll be a team at the brides in the morning. Mostly I go to the bride as the lead photographer. What happens there is we get there, we get makeup going on, hair being done, and then shortly after that, you'll have a small ceremony. If they change into their gowns, like they normally change into robes, written bride and bride sister and best maid, and best maid of honor and all that. So we have that captured. After which now they change into their wedding gowns and for the day. That's done, and then there's a small session where the bride is blessed with the parents. And depending on which culture you come from, if they're Kikuyu, you'd see parents from the other place coming to first they'll sing at the gate, and then they're let in after, of course, parting a few coins. Then they're let in, and then once they're let in, they exchange hands, they pray, and then people leave for church. So once you get to church, the other team from the groom side is already at church. Now it's for a team of 4, 2 photographers, 2 videographers. We do church. After church, immediately after church, there's normally a short photo shoot, depending on the order. But mostly the first photo is normally with the couple and the officiating pastor. And then now parents and all that. After that, there's a small photo session for the couple. I've missed a point. So normally I advise my couples to do a reveal, depending on where the wedding is done. If it's a wedding that's done in one location, the bride and groom would leave to go see the reception venue first, so they appreciate it before people sit. Yeah, they're able to see the much they spent on the dance floor, on the chairs, on the decor. Yeah. So once that is done, then we do the photo shoot. Then mostly what happens is it takes like an hour, so the guests will be eating. So then once that is done, then the couple is received by women, singing and are happy. Then reception. After reception, at the reception, normal thing. There'll be speeches, and then there'll be cake cutting, and then there'll be the first dance, and then that will mark the end of the wedding.
Okay.
That is the normal tradition. However, from time to time, you'd see weddings planned differently depending on couples. Yes.
no problem. So we have gotten an idea of the progression of the day. And so now we want to start with the first showcase. You mentioned that the first, the photography begins with the lady, the bride and her girls. And then they do change and then they prepare for church. So it is at this point that I invite you to showcase your very first work. I believe you're showcasing the bride and her bridesmaid.
Okay. Can you see the photo?
Yes, just maximize the screen. Yes.
On your, is it perfect on your end?
Yes, it is perfect on my end.
All right. All right. So this is a photo from a recent wedding that I did. I think the last two weddings. That was the second or the third wedding the fourth wedding that we've done this year. Now this is part of what I was talking about. Before these ladies, after their makeup is done and their hair is done, like you can see in the photo, their hair is done, their makeup is done, they put on their robes, then we do a small shoot for them before now they change into the official attires. So in this particular wedding, I remember that they'd set up a beautiful setup in the bride's room. So we were supposed to go take photos with balloons hanging from the ceiling. It was a very beautiful space. I looked at it and I told them, well, fine, we'll do that. However, if we can try and get a few photos from outside, that will not harm. Of course, we are limited in time, but let's just try that. So they agreed to it and we walked outside and we did the posing shoots, the normal posing photos, stand this way, hold the flowers this way, look this side, smile, say this and that. And then once this session was done, as the ladies were walking back to the house, I don't know what happened. I don't know what one of the ladies said on the lineup. And I was still holding my camera. And I just saw this moment. They were laughing.
They're saying this particular shot was not part of the style shoots, or
No, not at all. Not at all. We'd actually done. We'd actually finished with this, and we were just walking back into the house. And then I just saw this moment, clicked it really quickly, looked at what we'd gotten, and we'd gotten everything perfectly. Like I had the focus, I had the smiles and the emotions. Like that is really what I look for when I'm doing wedding photography. What are the emotions like? What are the faces? Does this shot tell a story? So we got this from a point where we'd already done with the shoot, and the photo struck me. Like it's a shot that I look at and it really makes me so happy. There's smiles and there's energy and the bride is happy. So really that's it for this photo.
I think this is a very beautiful photo, and I also think it sets a very good precedent for what is to come. I'd like to know more, but you have spoken in depth about this photo. So even as we move on to the next series, I just want to prepare. I just want to tell our audience, you're not ready for the next photo. Remember, we're not progressing in the day. You have seen a photo from when the day is beginning, the bride and her bridesmaid. And now we're getting ready for her to leave for church. We're getting ready to go to get her married. And there's usually one very important and one very powerful picture that everyone usually looks out for. And that photo is the mother-daughter photo. So in the next series, in the next 3 photos that Kegan is going to show us, he's going to showcase very powerful mother-daughter photos. Kegan, I'd like you to share the very first photo in this series between the mother and the daughter. And I just want also to hear what you have to say about this next series and this next photo.
Okay, so I think this is our next shot. Oh my God, this wedding, it was a small, beautiful wedding, full of very beautiful emotions. So like I've told you before, one photo like a single image can have a million words. Like I can write an entire book just from a single photo. So what happened with this photo? So this is what happened. We are done with everything. The bride is ready.
Sorry,
yes.
Sorry to cut you short. I think the earphone is moving a bit too much. So there's a bit of, bit of noise.
Okay, is that fine?
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah, so I was saying we are done with everything. Makeup is done. We've had, the bride has had her makeup, her breakfast. We've taken the photos with the maids. And then it's the point where women are already in the house. Now they want to pick up the lady. So we were somewhere upstairs. So we walked down the stairs, and on the sitting room, like the space where the women are, they're singing, guys are happy, we're just about to leave for church. What happens? Mother of the bride tells the bride that they want to, they ask me for a photo. So the mother
of the bride is the one who requested for this last photo.
Yes. So the mother.
Sorry, you want to tell me there's people in this room?
Yes, there's people in this room. Like the entire room is.
Like the entire room, there's people in this room.
Yes, I mean, if I was able to, like, if it was a free space, I'd maybe be somewhere in front of them. So what happened? The mother of the bride calls the bride, and they pose for a photo. And I don't know what happened. Like, the mother of the bride and the bride looked at each other, and emotions just filled the room. Like they just started crying. Like the mother of the bride started crying, the bride started crying. It was a beautiful moment, and I was so lucky to have gotten them at the right space, at the right place. Like I got her in that mirror, like wiping off her tears. I would have missed this shot. Yeah, and that's why I was telling you, if it were a posed photo, or if it were a room full of space, I'd have run in front of them to take this shot. I don't know.
And you know what is so great about this photo and also so powerful is the fact that the bride is looking at the mother.
Yeah.
And she's sort of like, you can clearly see the emotion in her face and whatever she's going through that time and whatever they are sharing at that moment. And I think it's very beautifully captured.
You know what, Eunice? Yeah. I remember this bride telling me something. I mean, as part of my work is just to make the bride be comfortable, because then once you have them comfortable, then you're able to get the best out of them. So we were having a chat as I take photos. So we just exchanging words as I take my photos and whatnot. Then she tells me, Kegan, jokingly, Kegan, I don't understand how someone would get married twice or thrice, because the emotions I'm feeling today are just too much. Like I can't do this again. Like I just feel whole. I feel so much love, and I don't think I can hold this again. Like, oh my God.
I wish you had a lot of time, because we would have gone so much in depth and discussed so much, but because of time, I just want us to move on to the next photo. It is equally a very powerful photo. It is between 3 generations, and I don't want to talk much about it because I want you to be the one to talk about that photo.
All right, mother, daughter. Oh my God.
Who are the people in this photo? Who are the people in this photo?
Eunice, nothing makes me so happy than compared to the work I'm doing, like just capturing moments. I mean, look at how happy these people are. I mean, I think I live longer. I experience this happiness a lot of times. I smile a lot, I laugh a lot. So this is a photo. This is a wedding we did towards the end of last year. It was in Kisumu. This beautiful bride here is a doctor. That's her, by the way. So we are almost getting ready. So there's a point where I normally ask the mother to just come and pray for the bride and bless the bride and her wedding before we leave for church. So the mommy comes, and then she of course she prays, and then she veils the bride. I don't know how Okay, on the extreme right, you can see a small girl there. So this is the bride's daughter. I don't know how this little girl got herself there, but
This is just 3 generations in one photo, and it was not planned at all. He did not tell this lady or this little girl to come in the view, or what do you call it?
Not planned at all. And this is the mother of the bride and the daughter. Imagine, yeah. So I don't know what she told her, and look at the smiles. Like, how rich is this photo? She's looking at her for the last time before they leave for church. Like, she's giving her away to the husband. But look at the photo. Look at the emotions. Look at the love. Yeah.
I think the most powerful photo, the most powerful aspect for me in this photo is the fact that the daughter, the granddaughter is there.
Yeah.
Because in a couple of years,
her
mother would probably be doing the same thing to her.
Yes. So really, Eunice, these things consume me. Like, this type of moments consume me. Like, I live for them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in the same breath, I think we should move on to the next photo of this series. This is the mother-daughter series. We have one photo in this series, and I'd just like you to share that photo, because it's also a very special photo. And you can just tell us the story behind this photo and why it is special.
Wow. This is another moment. Like I told you, the most unplanned shots are the best for me. So everything is done. The bride has been prayed for, and money has exchanged hands. Of course, not money really, like tokens of appreciation have exchanged hands. Now we're about to leave for church. And I'm always a bit hesitant to get into the car and drive off, because I'm like, I might miss out on an opportunity. So what happened here? This is the grandmother to the bride. Yeah. I'd asked the mother of the bride to, actually what happened is she moved closer to I don't know what they were saying. And then just before the grandmother walked to her car, you can see her waving to the granddaughter, telling her, I wish you well, I bless you, live for church, let's meet at church. And it's I don't know, it's the emotions, it's the joy, it's the happiness, it's that moment that's frozen, that is not planned, like the unplanned moments. Those unplanned beautiful moments.
Yeah, let me ask you, was this vehicle, was it in motion, or had it stopped so that the grandmother just says the last final word?
No, not really. This car was parked right outside where the bride was coming from the house. You see, the way they do it is they put clothes for the bride to step on as she walks into the car. So it was actually stationed there, like next to the door. So she walks into the car, about to leave. Then now the grandma just comes and waves before she goes to her car. And we got it like right in time, like that.
I mean, I can see the joy in the bride's face. She just looks like she's receiving the blessings from her grandmother.
Yeah.
It's really a beautiful photo, Kegan. And I think we will close that series, the mother-daughter series. And I'd just like to ask our audience, what did you think of this series? And if you can just tell us, which was your favorite shot in this series? Was it the first one, the second one, or the third one? I know each one of them, how do they say?
Evokes
a certain emotion, and they're all very powerful. But it's very interesting to learn or to know which would be their favorite shot in that particular series for different people. So please feel free to just comment on the chat section here on Zoom or on YouTube and tell us what you thought of that series, the mother-daughter series. I think it was a very emotional series. So remember that the showcase is progressing in the manner in which a wedding progresses on the material day. Now we have reached a point where the bride has left for church, and we are following Kegan and his team to see the click moments in church. So to start the next series, we want to see the special moments as the bride walks to the altar to get married. We want to see her just before she gets married. And finally, we want to see them, now that they are one, the groom and the bride, just after getting married. So in the next series, we're looking for three things. We're looking at just before getting married and just after getting married. So Kegan, I'd like to invite you to share your screen for the next series as the bride is walking down the aisle. It has to be one of the most emotional moments of the wedding day, when she's just walking down the aisle, because there's so much pressure to capture this emotion, because it's the most emotional part of the day. So to you as a photographer, I would imagine that there's so much pressure to capture that emotion and to make it permanent through your photography. So in the next photos, I think we're very excited to see how you captured these emotions and also the stories behind the pictures. Kegan, I'd like to invite you to start us off in this next series with the first photo of the bride walking down the aisle, and also kindly share the story behind, the very last photo in this series.
The very last one?
Yes, yes, that one. Where she's walking down the aisle, yes.
Is it this one?
Yes.
All right, so this was a wedding at the Maxwell SDA Church in Nairobi. We did it last year in December. Yes, we did it last year in December. So the setup of the church is such a way that there's a ground level, and then there are people who, I think it's made like a stadium. So there are people who sit in a raised place, and then there's the ground level. So I thought, if I climb this place, if I go up the stairs, what can I get from there? My initial idea was just to get the bride walking down. And what happens with SDA weddings is the pastor and the groom would walk to the middle of the church to meet the bride there and their parents. Then they'll pray for them there, and then they'll walk together to the front part. So I kept clicking, like I got the normal shots of them just walking.
Yeah.
And what struck me at this point is where the groom was helping the bride to walk up the stairs. Yeah. And everyone, and then the team is standing, and the pastors are looking up there. In front here is the groom's dad, and the groom's mom is here. So people are seated watching this moment.
Sorry, the people standing at the very end of the altar are the parents of the groom.
No, these are the team. The people seated here, and if you can see the benches on the left and right, this is the groom's mom, and this is the groom's dad. Okay. So really, what made me so happy, in what makes me love this photo, is that moment that the groom is actually helping her bride to go up the stairs as they walk towards the altar, and the team is honoring them by standing, and their parents are looking in front there. The pastor is ready to receive them. Oh my God! I think I got this photo, looked at it, I stepped down. I went to one of the photographers that we work with, and I told him, dude, I can just close shop and go home. I have the shot. Yeah, that's how excited. That's how excited I was, and I can tell you for sure, this is one of the photos that the bride has as her profile picture, on Facebook, and she told me that she really loves this photo. She looks at it and she really is happy about it, and that they got married in this way. And she was taken to church and before God, and her parents watched her being taken to church in the most honorable way. Yeah.
You know, Kegan, what speaks to me about this photo is the fact that the guy or the groom is immediately, even before getting married, he's just, what is reeking from this photo is his gentleness.
Yes.
And his leadership. I think he's very gentle, and I think he's a gentleman, really. And it's a very good shot that you captured, and it's whatever how you've explained it, and the fact that she loved it. I think it's a very powerful photo.
Yeah, really.
It shows the gentleness of this man.
Yeah, you see what happens with the pieces of art. Like I'd consider this for me as a piece of art, because really I'd visioned to get something like this, but then I got more from it. So how someone would interpret it, like now you're saying, what comes of this is that you feel like, or you think, or you get the version that the guy is so gentle, and you're getting the version that he has leadership skills. I mean, everyone would interpret it differently, and that is what excites me about the work that I do. That you'd capture a moment, and everyone has an opinion and interprets it differently. But of course, over and above is everyone is happy, and it gives them joy, and appreciating the process of capturing these moments for people who are doing their weddings.
Okay, Kegan, I think in the next photo, we have a very special story behind it. And I'd just like to invite you to share the next photo, the middle photo in this series.
Yes.
First of all, this is a very beautiful photo, Kegan.
Thank you.
My goodness. How did you take this? Were you like, were you up a ladder or what? How did you take this photo?
Eunice, you see, what happens is the moment I get to a venue, I look at the venue and I first of all see what I can get of it. So this is at Windsor. They have an open tent as you're getting into Windsor. So this is where this their church was going to be at. So I saw the beautiful flowers, and the walkway, and it looks like a runway for a fashion show. And then I said, I want to get something that's a bit raised. So what did I do? I had my drone. So I raised my drone up and waited for this moment and got it. Of course, I knew I'd get different angles. So I advised my second shooters to just position themselves. There's someone with a wide angle. Then there was someone else with an 85 lens to get the portrait, and then someone would get a wider angle. So I decided to raise my drone up and just get the shot from up. This again is one of the photos that the bride likes a lot. Wamboi has this as a profile picture, and it's very interesting when you've done work for people, and then boom, you see your photos being profile pictures for a long time. It tells you how much they cherish those moments, and it tells you how such moments are important for them. So this was very important for me, because the maid of honor was the bride's sister, and these two waiting for her, the parents, they're waiting to get their daughter to front of the church. The sister is the maid of honor. The bride is walking gracefully, holding her bouquet, and everyone is looking, and people are standing. What an honor!
I think it's such an honor. I think it's such an honor, and I think you captured the honor very beautifully. I don't know if that's a word. You captured the honor very beautifully, but I think this photo is very, I think it's a classic. That's the word I'm looking for.
Love it. Love this. Yeah. Like I said, we can write books. I can take every single photo and write books about these moments. But over and above, is that once you're done with this and the couple is happy, and they look at their photos and they're like, oh my God, how did he get this? Oh my God, how did you think about having this? So just instead of getting the normal shots that people would get, you're going on over and above and giving it a different eye. So that's it for me.
Yes. Kegan, I'd like us to conclude this particular series with a very special photo. I think it's special because of the people who are involved in that photo.
Yeah.
And the very last photo, yes, this one. And maybe you can just share more about this photo as we conclude this particular series.
I think this is the same photo. This is a photo that was, I think I've shared an initial photo where the groom is helping the bride to walk up the altar.
Yes, yes.
And like I told you, in SDA weddings, they'd go to the middle to receive, to hand over and to receive the bride from the bride's parents. So at this particular moment, the father of the bride is handing over the daughter to the groom. That is right before, I think after the prayers have been said. So the father of the bride is giving the groom the daughter, like handing over. I don't know. I don't know what this photo tells. I don't know how it speaks to you, but for me, it's such an important moment. Like it's such an important moment that you'd easily miss out. But I got it for them, for the client.
I think for me, it comes across as a unionification.
Yeah.
It is at this moment that they are joining, or they are becoming one.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been different if had you gotten this shot from the front.
Yes.
Because the angle, the father is between the two, and the father is handing over the bride.
Oh wait, Eunice, and there's a reflection, like there's a reflection somewhere. If you, oh my God, there's a reflection showing the bride and groom actually holding hands. Yeah, the father's bride, the bride's father is helping give out the hand, and then with the reflection you are able to actually see. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can see the reflection. And when you were taking the photo, did you put into consideration the reflection part, or was that by chance, by luck?
Really, what happens is you look at your environment. Once you've studied your environment, you look at all the possibilities. I'd seen that because where I was, there was like a glass barrier. So I looked at it and saw a reflection on the glass barrier. So it was, the onus was on me to just try and frame it and get both the action and the reflection on the mirror. And I was able to do that because of a lens that I had. So really, in as much as you're aware of your environment and what you want to get from a process, I think it's important also to just consider the type of lenses that you use. Because if I had a zoom lens, I would have gotten this. Yeah, if I had a tighter lens, I would have gotten this. If I had an extremely wide lens, I'd have gotten it. Yeah, so I think that also mattered, that I chose the right lens for the right time, and I got the right moment.
Okay, wonderful. I think we have come to the end of this series, the Walking Down the Aisle series. And just as we did with the other series, I would like to invite our audience to just tell us what stood out for them in this particular series. I'm seeing Francis tells us that in the previous series, the mother-daughter series, the 3-generation photo stood out for him. He says this is like passing a baton from the mother to the bride, whereby it's a message to the granddaughter to make her mother proud once her turn comes. And I think that's very true.
Eunice, don't you feel like crying right now? I mean,
oh Lord, you do a very good job capturing emotions, because when you look at a picture and it speaks to you, you've said something very important, that different people translate it differently. And I think that's just the beauty of it, because if I was to look at a photo and get nothing, then you would not have done your work as a photographer by, capturing moments and telling stories. It would just be an ordinary photo, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you entirely.
Yes. So we want to move on to the next series, and this is a very, 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 very short series, just before getting married. We have seen the bride in the morning with her girls. We have seen her just before leaving church with her mother. We have seen her walking down the aisle. We have seen her, even the father of the bride handing her over. And we just want to see her just before getting married. I just like to ask, have you ever thought about what goes on in the mind of a bride just before she gets married? For those of us who have been married before, what was going through your mind, when you were at the end of the altar and you were just about to say your vows? Kegan, I'm very excited about the next photo that you will showcase, because I know it's a very special photo. The very last photo before you turn from a miss to a Mrs. So I think if there's anyone who would like to share what they were thinking about, but Kegan has already shared. Just before Kegan says the story behind this photo, you can quickly raise your hand, but we can share even after Kegan shares the story behind this photo. I don't know, Kegan, why it is double on my end. I'm seeing 2 photos instead of 1.
You're seeing 2 photos?
Instead of 1.
I think it's just 1 photo. Like,
yes, yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. All right, so first of all, I think for a creative photographer, to get the opportunity and the chance to get such moments, they need a very, very competent team. And I must give a shout out to my amazing team. Oliver, who always covers my back and gives me the freedom to just roam around and get the moments. Nick Sylvia, who's always looking out to hand over the right lens. Yeah, I remember, and the amazing videographers, Makara, who's always there to just ensure that the right moment is gotten at what point and somewhere. So having said that, we were at church, like the bride has walked down. So people are singing before she's actually taken to exchange her vows. And then I was just walking. I walked past the bride, and I noticed that there was a light. There was some sort of light coming from behind. Like we'd set up a light in the church just to enhance our lighting. And then I noticed that there's a way it was hitting her from behind, like her gown and her hair, her veil. So I picked my lens and took the shot from down. I don't know what was going through Christine's mind. But I think I'll ask her one day what she was thinking about when this shot was taken. But it looks like a tense moment. It looks like a moment where maybe she's thanking God or saying a prayer to herself. I don't know really, but it was such an intense photo for me because of the facial expression, and she's holding her bouquet and her eyes are like raised, looking somewhere. Yeah, and then I was able also to get the details of her earrings. I was able to get to the details on her gown and the bouquet. God, and that light from the back did it justice. Like, I love this photo. I love this photo. It has a lot of stories. Maybe the bride should tell us, or will tell us, what really was going through her mind at this point.
I think for me, it radiates some sort of pureness and innocence. Someone says it looks like she's saying a prayer, and I think it's a very pure photo. It just looks very pure, and it just looks like this was the very last photo that you took just before she got married, just before she was asked to go and exchange her vows.
Yes, it was. Of course.
I mean, if it was me, I would treasure this photo forever, because after this, everything changes.
Good to note.
Yeah, but changes for the good or for the best, you know, hopefully. Yeah, but I think it's a very powerful photo. So we've come to the end of this series, and as always, I'd like to ask our audience what they thought of this particular series. Even as we move on to the next one, just tell us what it depends on your interpretation, really. I agree with you on the chat comment. Who is this who has said this? Let me just try and get your name. Is it Francis? Yes. So as always, I'd like to invite our participants to just tell us what you think of this series when she was walking down the aisle up until she was just about to get married, and tell us also which is your favorite photo, really. And we now want to move on to the next series, just after getting married. You have seen the bride just before getting married, and you want to see her just after getting married. We have followed her from home. We have followed her when she was walking down the aisle. We have followed her just before she got married, and now we just want to see her just after she has gotten married. And because two have become one, in the next series, we're going to see both the bride and the groom just after they've gotten married. Kegan,
Okay.
I'd like to invite you to share the next photo. You see, yes, the next photo in the series. I know you're very excited about this particular series because you have a lot to say about this particular series. You can maximize your screen.
Okay, let me maximize it.
So this is just after they have gotten married. No, you can start with that one. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Right. So this is a moment that I captured in church. The vows have been exchanged. The groom has been the vows hadn't been exchanged yet, but the pastor has asked the groom to just open the veil and see if the bride she has in front of him is the actual bride. And boom, veil is off. And then I get this shot, like the groom actually pointing at the bride. She is the one. She is the one. And then the bride reacts by opening her arms for a hug, and then we get the hug. So it was a quick 2 seconds that I got these shots. Yeah, opening of the veil, pointing at the bride. The bride opens her arms for a hug, and boom. I don't know. I'll let the audience give us their opinion on this, or like what they think about these photos, how they feel when they look at them.
So this is very you say those literally seconds between these photos.
Yes.
Okay. I think it captures the joy. To me, it speaks joy.
Yeah.
Yes. It speaks joy. That guy is very happy. You can see it in his smile, in his eyes.
Yeah.
The lady, then in the next photo, the bride is also very happy, and you can see it also in the smile of the gentleman.
Yeah.
And the very last photo too is very gentle. To me, it looks very gentle. And we have one last photo in this series.
Okay, let's see.
The black and white one.
Oh, and the last photo. Yes. Oh my God. I think they selected this photo and I made it part of the cover for their photo book. When I was handing over the photo book, this was the cover photo. Like this photo was so rich, has a lot of emotions. So I made it the cover photo so that they can look at it forever. You pick your photo book and the first photo you get is this. Like, this is how it was. This is how intense it was. This is how happy we were on our wedding day.
It looks like they were sharing like a inside joke or something. Like the bride had something and the guy was just, living in that moment. It looks like they were sharing an inside joke.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Just such a beautiful moment. People ask me who'll take photos at my wedding, and I don't want to think about it because if the photographer,
my wedding.
if the photographer of the day misses such a moment, then he'd be in trouble. Really. That's on a light note.
Yeah. Kegan, I'm seeing time is not on our side, so I'd like to quickly move on to the next series.
Yes.
Yes. Just before you click on that photo, let me just say one word.
Okay.
The next one. Yes, that one.
So I open this?
Yes, just open it. But just before you open, let me just say what this is about.
Yeah.
Now the bride and the groom have gotten married, and the mood immediately shifts to that of celebratory. In this final series, we want to see how Kegan captures the celebratory part of the wedding and the inspiration behind these shots. So Kegan, I'd like to invite you now to start sharing the photos in this series.
Which one should go first, Eunice?
We can start with the very first one, and
Okay.
then the last one, and then the middle one should be the last one.
Boom.
But this was
Right.
still planned, yeah? You did
Yes.
not plan this photo at all?
No, this wasn't planned at all. I think what happened, like I told you before, what we normally try and do is we normally try and make sure that the couple are the first people to have a look at their reception decor before people actually sit on it. Yeah, before the guests come to sit at the tent for the reception and to have food served and all that. We always try and make sure. And this we plan so well with the planners that I've worked with, to try and make sure that these people are the first to interact with their decor. So I think the bride here was overwhelmed, like with the work that the planner and the designer of the wedding and the decor person had done, and she was just like, "This is so beautiful," and I think she was thanking the groom and the husband for making it. Having it done for her. It was a moment where the bride was so happy about everything that was going on. And what did she do? She opened up her arms for a hug from the husband. Beautiful moments, not planned, not staged, just the click moments for me.
I think, Kegan, what speaks to me in this photo is that the fact that, you don't have other parts of the body can show emotion. It does not have to be the face always, because I'm looking at her back and her arms stretched, and I'm seeing from this photo that she's very happy.
Yeah.
It's not always, the face and the smile and the eyes and whatnot. You can still radiate happiness with other parts of your body, and that is what this photo is speaking. You can really see that this bride was very joyous.
She was.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Yes. So we move on to the last photo. That one.
Last photo. The last photo. Is it that one?
Photo, Kegan. It's a very beautiful photo.
I still look at this photo every so often.
Yeah.
And just.
I'm wondering where you were in this. Like, were you lying down? I mean, it looks like you were lying down somewhere.
Yeah, I was actually squatting down, and I had a wide lens for photographers who are following with us here. I had a 16-35 f2.8, and I saw an opportunity to get an entire shot, like a wide shot, showing the entire body, and getting to see the lights from up. So I actually was seated down. Then I took a landscape photo on my wide angle shot to get everything, the sparkles, the light on the top, and just the moment, them dancing and having a good time. This is the last dance. They've done their vote of thanks. They've had a fantastic day. So this is the last moment where they're dancing before now they're opening the dance floor for everyone. And their team of friends are just around them, and their parents are with them, and they have the sparkles and the lights are over them. Oh my God. Again, I leave it to our audience to just look at it and say what
this is so beautiful, and I agree 100%. This is such a beautiful shot. I mean, it's just so beautiful. I don't know what to say, but it's just a very beautiful shot.
Yeah, the sparklers added to the magic. Like, really, I wouldn't be happy if I got the shot from just up. Yes. Getting the shot from down to get the sparklers and to get amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we have one last photo in this series, the celebration or the celebratory series. We have one last photo, and I think it's quite interesting what you have to say about this photo.
All right. So Eunice, I think for someone to be, I'll just throw this out there. For someone to be a good wedding photographer, they need to know a bit about every type of photography, be it beauty, be it fashion, be it food photography, be it the artistic type of photos, be it panning, be it long exposure. So this is what happened. This is at night. It's I think at like 7 p.m. The sun has gone down, the skies are blue, and the couple is doing their first dance. And what came to my mind was the lights. Like I just looked at the light and said, I must do a long exposure shot. So I had my camera on a tripod. I put it on a tripod, and then I set it to about 10 minutes. Just let it run. Those who are familiar with long exposure will tell you, you must make sure that the camera is stable, like it's on a tripod, and then I let it run for like 7 minutes, just getting the moments. That's why I got the star like shapes of the lights, and I looked at it and I appreciated the moment, and then the client loves this photo. I remember someone asked me how I was able to get the stars from the lights.
Yes.
And just long exposure. So really my advice is to be creative, learn a lot about photography, learn a lot about food photography, fashion, posing, learn about long exposure, learn about panning, because you'll one way or the other get an opportunity to apply that, and you'll come up with a masterpiece. So this photo is taken at night again.
You know, Kegan, this is one of the things that I learned about photography, that I thought this, if you just took a camera with whatever skill that you have, that the stars would automatically come. But you're saying something different. Hello?
Yes. If you're keen enough to see, the bride and the groom are in the dance floor, but then the shot is not like really. It's not realist. It looks shaky. So what happens is any movement that is taken when we are doing a long exposure shot would appear shaky. The other gentleman was just standing recording the dance, hence why you can see him in focus. But if you look at it artistically, then you're able to notice motion, like there's motion here. So it means these guys are dancing under the stars.
Oh, beautiful. I think we have come to the end of the showcase, and I just like to say, and just to retaliate how beautiful and how emotional all these photos were, and the stories behind them were they evoked emotions, and I think you have done very well for yourself, and you are going so far with photography by Kegan. And even as let me look at the time, it's 2 minutes past 8. We have a few questions that a few people had sent in, and I'd just like to invite our audience, if anyone has a question, now is the time to send in that question here on the chat box, and even on YouTube. Kegan, I want to read out the first question.
Okay, wait.
About the answer.
Yeah.
Yes, you wanted to say something.
I'm just too excited and happy. And I think next time Catherine invites photographers to talk about their work and they're excited as me, she should add us more time. So then we are able to just talk more and more and more about this beautiful moment.
I feel like it has been such a short time.
I don't know.
Go by so fast.
Yeah, I don't know what the participants want to say, but also short is sweet. Right, yes. Should bring the questions.
Yes. So the first question, I'd like to read the few comments from the chat box as you think about this question. Someone sent in a question and asked, what kind of equipment do you use, and do you have backups? And even as you prepare that question, I'd like to just recognize a few comments from our, and yes, we had that game that we played earlier on. I'd also finish with that and see who won. Catherine, would you like to guess? Would you like to participate in our game and make assumptions about me?
I think you fall down the stairs.
I thought, you know, let me just repeat it once again. The three statements, two are true, one is a lie. I was interviewed on the news once. I fall walking up the stairs most of the time. I used to play hockey in high school. Last chance.
Walking up the stairs.
You think I fall? Oh, okay, okay. Yes. Yeah. So I'll read those answers, the very last one, but I just want to read and recognize a few people who have joined us on the chat section. Someone said, I love how Kegan captures raw emotions into pictures. That's Agal Nyakusa. And that's very true. We have seen it today.
Thank you so much.
Capture raw emotions into pictures. I think it's Catherine who said she wanted to cry. The photo was very emotional. I think she was referring to the mother-daughter photo. Yes.
For real. And I'm just alone here in this office. Yeah. And I'm feeling, honestly, Kegan, that photo was really the mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Those I usually find them quite emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There's someone who says, you're very natural. Sorry. Where are these comments going? The 3-generation photos. I think I'd read this before, but I just want to read it again. The 3-generation photo. This is like passing a baton from the mother to the bride. Whereby it's a message to the granddaughter to make her mother proud once her turn comes. Francis also says, Kegan, would you capture such photos for me during my upcoming wedding?
That's a trick question. Francis will talk. I know I'm saying that Francis is my personal friend. Like he's a very good friend of mine. So I'll call you after this, Francis. Usinianike hivyo aki.
Okay. So Kegan, I think you'll answer the first question. We have another question that has come in here. We have 2 more questions that were sent in earlier on, but the person is asking which equipment do you use and do you have backups?
Oh yes, I use the 5D series of cameras, the Canon 5D series. I personally shoot on a 5DSR, and I have a 5D Mark III backup, and I have a third Sony body. So I shoot on 3 bodies. I have a mirrorless body, the Sony A7 II, and then I have the 2 Canons. About backups, I think that's been mentioned. I don't walk around with 1 camera while at an event. Just in the event that one fails, you have a backup. Yeah.
You know, the world is so funny because you are talking things that are making sense to so many people except me. I have no idea what you've said. But I'm sure someone else somewhere, it resonates with them. Very quickly, the second question is, so when someone hires you or hires photography by Kegan, will a contract of the services be provided?
I think very quickly, because this is a legally binding service, like it's money exchange hands for a service. You're paid to provide service. So really, there has to be a contract that's legally binding that you can go back to and just make sure that your back is covered. So yes, we first have to agree on the terms of the contract before we exchanges hands. Yes. Eunice?
Eunice, you're muted yourself. Eunice, you're muted.
Oh gosh, sorry. What about now? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. The very last question that I have that was sent in just before I go to Carol's question is someone is asking what your primary style is.
Primary style. So really, I'm a wedding photographer. People, moments. Those are what makes me want to wake up every day to read about, to research on, just to look at what my peers are doing, and yes, to help grow and make the craft better. I have different styles. I infuse fine art and photojournalism and a bit of events photography. I think the mix of that makes it holistic for my clients, because then they have a three angle coverage to their wedding and their photos. Yes, so it's photojournalism, have the artistic view, and then events.
All right. I think because of time.
I have something to say.
Yes.
You know, Kegan, when you talk about the artistic view,
yeah,
you know that photo of the bride just before she got married?
Yes.
I thought it was a true Mona Lisa moment. You know, you look at her and you can interpret the way you want to. It's left to the beholder, whoever is beholding the photo, to interpret whatever they want to think. You know, like the Mona Lisa, she could be smiling. Is she upset? Is she happy? And that is it's a very artistic photo. Because for me, she looked scared. She looked like she was praying. She looked like, you can interpret the way you want. And so I really agree with you when you say sometimes you have the artistic, you infuse all of them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also concur. And Carol says, I'd like to hear Kegan's take on wedding photography and videography, the place of photos and video in capturing moments and emotions.
What is the question? My take on what exactly? I think I didn't get the question.
I'd like to hear Kegan's take on wedding photography and videography.
Yeah.
I think she wants to understand the place of photography and videography in capturing moments and emotions.
You'll help me here, Eunice. The place of
How do you perceive this question, Catherine? What do you think it means, in your opinion?
Like, I really want to help them. So, but
I'd like to hear Kegan's take on wedding photography and videography, the place of photos and video in capturing moments. And I think she wants to know. I think there are couples sometimes who have to decide: is it going to be videography or photography? Which one? Okay, when do you feel certain emotions are captured better on video, and when? And maybe also she may want to know which one should you go for.
Yes. I get. All right. What was their name, Eunice? Carol. Okay. Carol, thank you so much for your question. That's a very good question in so many senses, because I also get asked that a lot. Like you'd get a client asking me whether just getting a photographer is enough. Like, can I just in your package? And mostly, not in a bad way. Mostly it's because of budget. So they tell you, can I just get 2 photographers and 1 videographer, or could I just have 1 photographer and 1 videographer? So really, I think for a 360 angle coverage, you need to have both sides covered so as to tell the story. So if you are telling stories in the morning of the bride getting ready, let's get another side of it, like what was going on at the groom's, how was he getting ready, what was going on when he was with the boys, and what were the emotions on the other side. So really, regardless of budgets, just try and think about it this way: get every moment captured. And like Catherine always says, I tell these people a lot of times, wedding mistakes are extremely painful and expensive. We can't do the wedding again. Once it's done, it's done. So really, let's put our best foot forward. Get Carol, get people that you know you do a good job, and let them do it. Don't try and compromise on the number of people that will come to a wedding because of budgets. Try and talk to your suppliers about that. You could get a good rate, but don't miss out on a moment because of budgets. Also, both videography and photography are very important. You will capture a moment in a shot that you might miss out on a video. Of course, videos really are just moving photos, while photography is stills, like that moment frozen, when videos are just those moments moving as the move you record. So everything, photos, videos, very important for your event. I think I answered it.
Yes, I hope you, Carol, I hope you are satisfied with that answer. And I think we have come to the end of this showcase. It has been a very wonderful showcase. And I'd just like to invite Kegan and perhaps Catherine to prepare their parting shot. And as you prepare your parting shot, let me answer this question. Francis said you have been interviewed on TV, true. You fall on stairs, true. You have played hockey, false. No. The truth is I fall walking up the stairs. And so, Catherine, you were right for I fall. Who falls?
How did she know that? Like, Catherine, how did you know that?
Because if she's interviewed on TV, I would know. Like, how would I not know? She's like my daughter. Like, how would I not know? Like, you are interviewed.
Okay, no, that she falls off the stairs. Okay, she's your daughter. So really, you won.
Well, that was a guess.
Yeah.
The most intelligent guess.
Yes, I think there's someone else also who said I fall walking up the stairs. I'm just trying to see if I'll get her.
Let that one in.
Yes. Who was it? No, I think it's only you, Catherine, who got the answer right.
That's unfair.
Yeah, but I fall walking up the stairs for some funny reason. I don't know. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you who has joined us today. We do this every Wednesday. We showcase talented and very creative vendors such as Kegan, who we have been very privileged to have today. We have learned something or two. And Kegan, I just want to say a big thank you from us here at Wedding Wednesdays. I want to thank our participants on Zoom and on YouTube. And I'd like to welcome you again. We do this every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We created this platform because we wanted a community. We wanted a platform where we just come and have conversations with the bride-to-bes and even those who already got married. This is a safe space where we discuss everything and anything wedding. So next week we have a very interesting session. We're going to be talking about health and fitness. You see, when someone gets engaged and there's a wedding in the horizon, the first thing that they usually do is they run to a gym or to YouTube and they want to get fit. They want to get fit for their big day. And sometimes, we go about it the wrong way that could be hurting us. So next week we have we have an expert in health and fitness who is coming to share, the do's and don'ts of getting wedding ready. So you don't want to miss this session. I'd just like to finish this session today by saying once more, thank you very much, Kegan. And I'd like to invite you to share your parting shots.
Once again, thank you so much, Eunice and Dr. Catherine. Dr. Catherine, very sincerely, thank you for giving us young people a platform to just ride on. A platform that you built over the years. We don't take it for granted that you've made it this possible for us young people to just talk about what we love, what feeds us and what pays our bills. Thank you so much. May God bless you and open your horizons. Eunice, thank you so much for hosting. I had a good time. I also pray that our good Lord continue opening your boundaries. You continue interviewing more and more and more and getting better and better and better, and win and win and win. Finally, I wouldn't be here without the support of an amazing team that's normally on the background. Like I said again, amazing backup photographer Oliver, amazing team manager Nick Sylvia, who's there to always just make sure that everything works. We have all the lenses that we need. Amazing team of videographers, Sam and Makara. Thank you guys so much also for just tuning in. My followers or the people who are interested and are keen on the industry for being with us and being here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Asante sana. God bless us all.
Thank you so much. With 20 minutes past 8, I know we had said 7 to 8, but as I want to thank our audience. Catherine, do you want to say one word before we go?
Yes. Kegan must come back and talk about that Fiji wedding. One of my favorite photos. I don't know why he did not put in, you know, those. Today we talked about the emotional photos, but I know that there are other photos. You know those Insta photos?
Yes, Catherine.
The portraiture ones, yeah?
Yes,
so I hope you'll come back again, but thank you so much that you're one of those rising stars. I tell you, you're already a star, but it's a star that is coming out of Africa in photography. One day we're gonna wake up and in those wild photography, you know, the winning photos, you're gonna be there. I know it for sure.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Catherine, and to our participants and to Kegan. Have a lovely